All right. I think we are officially live on this Wednesday morning, and it is May 26th, and the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully, you guys are having a beautiful day. I made a little bit of a mistake, though. I was supposed to have scheduled this. I usually schedule it at least a day before and didn't schedule it. So I had to go live and just push live. I had to just jump on. That's what I'm saying. So here we are. Today, what we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a recap. And this recap will also go on the podcast, but this is going to be a hot seat that I recently did with Matt, who's one of our Brand Creators Academy members. And I'm going to go through this hot seat. Now, inside of Brand Creators Academy, we do these hot seats where I jump on with one of our members, and then we kind of go over something that's going on in their business or that they want some feedback on, and then we really focus on that area. Well, what Matt had did was he created a new funnel, in a sense, an email list funnel. So he wanted to test this, and he did, and it worked pretty well. And I'm going to go through the components that he had built, that he implemented, the results. And then from there, I'll give you the overview of what I had advised him after going through this. It was probably about an hour call. So again, if you're watching this and you're inside Brand Creators Academy, that is posted in the hot seat section inside the members portal. So make sure you go check that out if you missed it. Really, really good. So that's what we're going to do here today. So do me a favor, if you are watching this live, if you are able to get this notification, I never know what Facebook is going to do, then let me know, and that would be awesome. That way, at least I know that we are, in fact, live. And then what I'll do is I'll jump in, and then if you have any questions at the end, I will... Salama, how is your AC? Fixed? Yes, I'll give you a little update on that while we're waiting for some people to get on here live. So Monday it was, I had to jump on a half hour early. So normally I'm doing these at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I had to jump on at 9:30 because my air conditioning unit for upstairs wasn't working. And I didn't realize this until I got home on Sunday night after my daughter's beach volleyball. And it's like 95 here. So it was really, really hot. So upstairs was like 85 degrees. So we went ahead and we called, an AC expert specialist, whatever you want to call them. And they came out, and I was thinking probably going to need a new unit. I think it's original with the house. And I was expecting it to be like a $4,000 bill, to be honest with you, 4 to 5. I was even hearing some people say it could be up to $6,000 for one unit. So long story short, the guy was a great salesman, by the way, too. So I commended him on that. But he sold me a service plan, and the service plan was $350. It gives me 2 cleanings per unit each year, and 15% off any parts that I need, which I'm going to need parts to fix this. That's what he said. And so, long story short, with that little service plan, with my parts, I ended up getting out of it for about $900. Still not great, right? Who wants to spend $900? But I was expecting $4 to $6 grand to $900. It was a good day. So we are cooled down here in the house. We have our AC back. And it was a good day after we got that back up and running. So, okay. So we're going to kick this thing off. We got Scooby Life in the house. What's up, Scooby Life? And we've got Salama, Noel. Good morning. Octavio, you are live, but not getting notifications, oddly. That is weird. I'm not sure what Facebook is doing, but oh well. Any of you that are watching this even on the replay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, come back to either the Facebook page, the Facebook group, Rock Your Brand, and you'll be notified, or if you're on YouTube. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this little recap for you. And we're going to talk about this email list funnel with a new digital product offer and some cool things that we can now do with that. All right. So we're going to go over that. Here we go. I'm going to make a little cut here so we can go ahead and edit this for the podcast. All right. Well, today in this episode, we are going to do a little hot seat recap. And this is going to be with one of our Brand Creators Academy members, Matt. And he is, he and I jumped on a call. That's what we do inside of Brand Creators Academy. And we went through a brand new email list funnel with a new digital product. Now, Matt has done this before through our trainings, and he created a lead magnet, built an email list, upwards of over 1,500 people, I believe. Then from there, had created a digital product, sold that digital product, and off the top of my head, I think right out of the gate, sold like 20 or 30 copies of that right out of the gate. Did that by taking his content from his blog, which we also teach in the Digital Product Creation Fast Track Workshop, and basically just followed that to a T and came out of it with an email list, a new lead magnet, a new offer that he can now make to his list. But he wanted to test a different offer. He wanted to test a new lead magnet that would attract someone a little bit different. And I'll explain what that is and what it looks like. And then he wanted to create another digital product to then assist with the lead magnet. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you the play-by-play in this episode, in this podcast episode, or depending on if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. But I'm going to walk you through the conversation that him and I had, the numbers, okay, and then also some of the advice that I had given him to test. All right. Anytime that I'm ever giving any advice, it's always like test it. We have to test in order to see if it works. We can't just assume. So that's what we really need to do here. Now you are hearing me talk about Brand Creators Academy. It's one of our members. Like I said, if you're interested in joining Brand Creators Academy with other brand creators in our community and all of our training, head on over to brandcreatorsacademy.com. You'll see a page there that'll give you all the details and how you can potentially join. All right. So head on over to brandcreatorsacademy.com. And you can check out all of the past hot seats that we've done. And then also, if you wanted to be in a hot seat, all you need to do is request it and we'll get you on the schedule. All right. So let's talk about this. It's really something that a lot of people want to do, but they think it's really complicated, and it's really not if you break it down. If you break it down into each piece. All right. So let's start with what we're going to cover here. All right. Number one, we're going to talk about how he can reduce his email lead cost. And we'll talk about what the lead cost was and actually how he could probably 2 to 3x the investment. So we'll get into that. Create immediate sales, okay, that he's already doing, but also how to test another offer maybe. Follow-up emails that can then sell and also get more traffic. And then adding an order bump and then free traffic opportunity that he was kind of missing. All right. So those are all the things that I'm going to be covering here. And I've got some notes, and in my notes here, you'll be able to kind of, listen through as I kind of work through our call. All right. So, and he's okay with me kind of sharing what he's doing. So he's in the mountain biking niche. Okay. And so what he originally did was he created a maintenance guide. Okay. And the maintenance guide is great for someone that's already mountain biking, or maybe a beginner, but yet needs that advice for maintaining your mountain bike or just maintaining your gear. Okay. And so he wanted to test something for a newbie, someone that was just getting into mountain biking. So he said, let me just create a checklist for a beginner. Okay. And really important part here, there was something that he did on his landing page, which we'll talk about, and I'll tell you the correction, that I believe brought his conversion rate down. And if we remove that and change that, I think it will increase. And we're going to be able to see this because he's making this adjustment inside of the academy. And I'll try to update you guys here on the Coffee Talk or on the podcast. But there's one little tweak, and I'll share that with you here in a little bit on the landing page that we didn't realize until we went through it. And it's one small little tweak. All right. So basically, again, what he needed here was a new lead magnet, which he created, and he created this in Canva, by the way. So we go through this in our email list building fast track workshop as well. Went into Canva, created a new checklist, a nice little graphic. All right. And then from there, offered it as a lead magnet to attract the beginner mountain biker. Okay. So now he set up a Facebook ad, and in that ad, all it was a picture of the checklist. Okay. And it was basically a beginner's guide checklist. Okay. Now here's the numbers at a glance, and then we'll dig into them a little bit deeper. All right. He was able to generate 109 emails. Okay. 109 new emails. Okay. Now from that, he was able to sell 2 of his ebooks within the first 7 days. Okay. Now we are going to probably be able to increase that. You're also going to hear about how we can take these leads and then continually communicate with them and continually have them buy things down the line, or at least generate traffic that could potentially lead to sales. But what else he needed here was he needed the lead magnet. He needed a new thank you page, which all of this is done in ConvertKit, by the way. Little shameless plug. If you want to go through my affiliate link, you can go to brandcreators.com/ConvertKit. And if you go there, you can get a free account set up. All right. So go check it out, and you'll buy me a cup of coffee, and I'd appreciate that. I love my coffee. Okay. So needed a new landing page, a new thank you page. Okay. And he created a new digital product. So he needed that. He created that, and then he needed a new email sequence. Okay. So new lead magnet. He needed to host that on a landing page. He chose ConvertKit. Then a new thank you page. He chose ConvertKit for that. And then a new digital product. He used ConvertKit for that too. All right. And then he built a follow-up sequence for the first 7 days after someone joined the email list. Used Facebook ads to test this. Now he spent, let's see, $134 on ads. Okay. $134 on ads. He had 390 clicks from the ads. Okay. And 109 subscribers, which equates to roughly 28% on conversion. Okay. So meaning, and this was the one thing that we really had to hone in on during our hot seat was, okay, Matt, how many people clicked on your ad? And this is really important for you if you're running ads or if you want to see what your lead magnet is converting at. And I'm always looking at 20 to 25% minimum is what I want that to convert at on a free lead magnet. If we're talking about a paid lead magnet, those numbers are usually going to decline, and that's okay. All right. So 390 clicks. Okay. 109 people subscribed. Okay. They went to that page. 390 people clicked on the ad, went to the page, and 109 of them subscribed. Okay. 28% conversion. Now we're going to talk about how to increase these conversions, because that's what we did. And after looking at his page, because this is what I'm doing, right? I'm looking at his page, and I show this in the hot seat. So again, if you're in Brand Creators Academy, make sure that you go to the hot seat section in the members portal, and you'll see the most recent hot seat I did, depending on when you're listening to this, and you'll be able to watch this. Okay. Cause I actually show the screen and all of that stuff. But the one thing that was on that page that I believe could have deterred people from entering their name and email address. Well, there was 2 things. Number one is the URL was the ConvertKit URL. It was like a weird URL. So sometimes when people go from a Facebook ad, which is they're on Facebook, they're on that platform, they go to another place, they might look at that and be a little weirded out and be like, oh, that's a weird looking URL, right? But if it went to his website, okay, whatever the website is, I'm not going to repeat it just because I want to keep that private, but let's just say it was mountainbikingfun.com/free checklist. That would look better. Okay. And it would give more trust to the page. So we are going to fix that. And that was one of the tasks that I gave to Matt, was to make sure that you use the plugin for ConvertKit on your blog And then from there, create a page on your website. So that way there, it's on your website. So this way here, it's just trusted more. Okay. So that was one fix. Not sure how much of a conversion lift that'll give, but it might give one. The second thing is this is a beginner's guide to mountain biking. Now you would say, well, if someone's getting into it, they probably need to know about bikes, but maybe they already have a bike and they just want to know more about the riding aspect of it. Or maybe they want to know more about the trails, or maybe they want to know more about other gear outside of just the bike, right? And so on the page, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull it up for myself so I can tell you what I saw. Basically, mountain biking for beginners checklist, and then right below that it said before buying your bike, and then it lists off some things, right? Well, if you land on this page and you're like, I want the mountain biker for beginners checklist, and then you're like, you see in big bold letters, before buying your bike, and you're like, I already bought my bike, I don't need this checklist. Boom, gone, right? So that one little thing can make a huge difference. Okay. So I told him, remove that, and then let's test that. Because if someone comes here, they already have a bike, they're looking at that, they're like, oh, it's a checklist about buying a bike, I don't need that, I already got that, right? So that is like a really important thing to understand, that don't just assume people are, at a certain place, because a lot of times they might not be exactly where you think they are. So in this case, Matt was assuming they didn't have a bike yet, right? Now, if you were going after people that needed a checklist for buying a bike, then that would be the checklist, right? The ultimate beginners mountain biking selection checklist, or how to choose your mountain bike, seven must-haves, or something like that. That would be calling out the mountain bike person or the mountain biking person that needs a bike. Okay. And that was one tweak that I think could have been hurting the conversions. Now, let me just kind of go back to that though. Are those conversions bad? No, 28% is pretty darn good. But if we're paying for each of those clicks, we spent $134. Okay. We spent $134. So how much did we spend on a click? I'm going to do the math here on the fly. Let's do the math on the fly here. So 390, or I'm sorry, it's what is it? 134 divided by 390, spent 34 cents a click, almost 35 cents a click, right? Well, if we reduce those clicks and only get people that click on that go over, right, and then they convert, then we're saving money there on our ad spend. So that's one way to reduce the cost of the lead. The other thing is out of those 390, if we can increase that to 40%, what would that be? 390, 40%, it's 156. All right. What would we get? Minus 109. We would have added another 47 emails. Okay. People. That's huge. Okay. So that's why we want to know those numbers. Okay. And that's why we want to look at these little subtle tweaks. So now moving through the funnel. Okay. So that's your lead magnet. Okay. We have a landing page that we can measure the conversion. Okay. Now what we got to do is we got to look at that thank you page. Now on his thank you page, there's an offer, and that offer is for 50% off his brand new ebook. Okay. And that ebook is the ultimate guide for beginners. See, so we got beginners checklist and a guide for beginners. Now, he could also sell them, and this is where this little order bump will come in later, or even a sale in another sequence later would be the maintenance guide that he already has. And this is why I always tell people, when you're creating a digital product, you're creating digital assets that you can cross promote. You can create an order bump. You can upsell. You can do another promotion down the line with that. You can bundle things together and do the ultimate bundle for mountain biking. Like, there's all of these things that we can do. So I really like it that Matt did this, because it gives him more inventory of more products, right? It gives him more of a selection for people that are coming in new to his world. Okay. So what's something that we could do here to increase these conversions. So these conversions on this, if we look at these at a glance, 109 people entered their name and email address, right? Out of those people, they all saw the thank you page, because the minute you enter your name and email address, it automatically brings up the thank you page that says, thanks, we just sent you your checklist in your inbox. It should be arriving shortly or within 10 minutes or something like that. And then there's, because you're brand new to mountain biking, I want to offer you our ultimate guide to mountain biking for 50% off today. Here's what's included, boom, 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 boom. And then regular price, $20 today, $10, right? For a limited time. Now, that's what's there. And usually we call this cold traffic when you're targeting people on Facebook that don't know your brand and you send them over to a free lead magnet. Your conversion will be one thing, but then to buy something will be completely different, right? So we're always saying like between 1 and 2% is good on cold traffic. Well, he converted one sale right out of the gate. That one sale, it's right around 1%. It's a little less, but almost 1%, right? He had 109, one sale. But here's where you can take that and multiply that. In the first 7 days, he sent them through a little email sequence. And that email sequence was a deadline sequence, as we call it. And that is where you make the offer and then you make the offer disappear, okay, where it's going to go away, okay? It's where we have a sale, the sale is going to end, okay? And he's built this through going through some of our other trainings where we talk about the 3-day email profit push. And what happens here is usually you will sell more product. Now, these people don't know who you are. So I still don't feel like this conversion rate should be that high. So another 1% is great. And that's what he got. So we're at 2% now. So let's kind of look at these numbers though. And again, this is a small test to do with only 100 people. Okay. But at least it gives us a good base to start from. So 109 people opted in. Out of those 109 people, one person bought right away. Another person bought within the first 7 days. So now we're at 2%. Now let's kind of look at what that looks like as far as if we were to forecast this and say, okay, in the first 30 days, what else can I do to bring awareness to more of my products, more affiliate products, or just traffic to my website? Talk about that here in a minute, okay? But here's something else that I advised him to do that he was not doing as of yet. Number one, he needed to put his guide on his website, okay? So on the sidebar of your website, there's usually placeholders there, little widgets. I told him you should put your book there, okay? For sale, okay? The other thing that he should do is when someone arrives at the website, you should have a little pop-up that comes up that, and you can do this all through ConvertKit, that would offer the free checklist, the beginner's one, because now anybody that comes in there, they're free, right? So as you start to build traffic and you have this lead magnet come up there, it's automatically going to now bring them through your email list funnel. Okay. We converted it with cold traffic, but what happens when we have organic traffic, right? And you're getting 5 or 10 people a day that enter there. That's how many people are going to see the offer. That's how many people are going to go through that email sequence. And that's how many people now are going to be added to your email list that are going to get your weekly emails. Okay. Which is going to increase the chances for selling stuff. Okay. So the very first thing I said, sidebar, add your product to the sidebar. The other thing that I advised him to do is on WordPress, there's an ad insertion plugin. Okay. And this ad insertion plugin, what it allows you to do is create basically an ad on your website, and you can insert it into all of your past blog posts. And then you can take it off if you don't want it there anymore. You can switch out different offers. You can rotate different offers. And so I showed him an example of what we're doing in one of our niche sites. And I advised him to plug that in. Okay. Slide in that ad, if you will, for either your lead magnet or for the product or both. Okay. Because if you have some traffic, I don't care if it's 50 people a day coming to your website, that's an opportunity to get them on your email list. It's also an opportunity for them to buy something. If you don't already have a products page or a product category, you should probably create that as well if you have some digital products, okay? If you have more than one, okay? So that's that. Now, let's move on. I'm going to recap here on the ad spend and then also what we're going to be doing next steps, okay? So recapping, Matt spent $134 on ads. He brought in $20 in revenue in 7 days. So he paid basically $1.04 per email address. Okay. $1.04 per email address. Now, the goal here is you're not going to get everyone to buy something right away. We all know that. Okay. But what we want to try to do, and we can do this by looking at the total that we've brought in and then kind of dividing it amongst how many subscribers we have. But if you think about it this way, we're trying to create an email list that is maybe worth $2, $3 per subscriber within 90 days. Okay. That's like the goal. And I don't mean, again, like you're going to say, okay, each subscriber is always going to be worth that. That's not the case. There's so many variables there. But if I can say I spent $1.04 on this email subscriber and in 90 days it's worth $2, I've just doubled my money in 90 days. That's if I'm spending money on ads. If I'm spending no money on ads and I'm just using from the free traffic on my website, then it's immediately going to be $1 per email is going to be, where you would then start to be profitable, right? Or even 10 cents. It doesn't matter. It's free. Okay. So I always want to think about not just the first time someone joins your list. It's like the first 30 days, the 60 days and 90 days, but how do we build something so this way here, there's more opportunities for them to become a paid customer? Well, the way that we're going to do that is we're going to send weekly emails. Okay. Send weekly emails. And Matt is doing this on a regular basis. And so what is he doing? He's writing blog posts every single week. With those blog posts, he's sending an email to that blog post. Well, guess what? Inside that blog post, not always, but most of the time, there's products mentioned. Those products, affiliate products, okay, where people can buy them and you would be compensated with a commission. Okay, whether it's Amazon, whether it's ClickBank, whether it's any of the other ones or private ones. Okay, those are your affiliate opportunities. So we write an email once a week. We send them over to our website where we have a blog post that's either 7 best fishing lures or whether it's 7 tips to catch more bass. Usually inside of those posts, there's going to be mentions of products. Okay, now also in the email, usually in the PS or what we call our super signature, we are going to add a soft pitch. That soft pitch is going to be to an ebook, one of our digital products, or it's going to be to a class that we have, or a course, or a workshop, or templates, or whatever you have to offer. It's going to be inside of that PS. Okay. And then we're also going to schedule some dedicated promotions. These dedicated promotions, I mean, Father's Day is coming up, depending on when you're watching this or listening to this. So Father's Day is coming up. Father's Day is going to be a great time to start promoting something. And I don't care if you sell bass fishing lures or if it's crocheting. You could do a promotion saying, hey, crochet the man in your life, or your, for your dad, or, crochet whatever for the number one dad or something like that, right? Just come up with a reason to have a promotion. Okay. And then we're going to dedicate some time in our calendar to do that promotion. And that promotion would last 3 to 5 days. We also call this our deadline sequences. And then really at the end of the day, our goal is to cover the cost of our lead. We want our lead cost to go to 0 and then go to the positive. Okay. So if we're paying for ads through a lead magnet, we always want to find a way that we're going to be able to monetize somewhere down the line. If you don't have things to offer them, they cannot buy anything. So if you don't have your own digital products, I would start thinking about creating them. Matt now has 2. He's been through the Digital Product Creation Fast Track Workshop, and he's part of our academy. He's created 2 of them, following it to a T, using content from his website, and he's kind of double dipping because he's getting traffic from the content, and he was able to package it up and make digital guides that now he can offer. Plus, he's also doing merch on Etsy. So now he has another way for them to buy something. So there's all these different ways, and we talk all about this inside the academy as well. So again, if you are interested in joining other brand creators and really focusing on all of these aspects of building your brand, check out brandcreatorsacademy.com. You can get all the details over there. So let's recap this email list funnel. Okay. Number 1, Matt created a new lead magnet, wanted to test it. Okay. To really get a different part of the market. Second thing is created a new thank you page with an offer. Okay. If you're not putting an offer on that thank you page, you probably should do that as soon as possible, because that is one place where you could make an immediate offer. Okay. The other thing in place is the follow-up sequence. And I believe he had 3 to 4 emails that went into that first follow-up sequence. Okay. And then the last thing is, as far as what was next in line, is that digital product. Obviously, you got to have that digital product if you want to offer that, or you could just create a blog post that talks about the 7 best bass fishing lures, and that could be your offer. Okay. Because now you have at least the potential to do that. And so what Matt is going to be doing is working on increasing his conversion on his landing page from 28%, try to get it to 30% at first. And then he's also now going to be tweaking the thank you page just a little bit. And then from there, the follow-up sequence, and then just following up with these people on a regular basis, and then tracking and seeing, okay, have any of these people purchased in the last 30, 60, or 90 days? So it is a little bit of a waiting game there, but you have to be consistent on publishing content, but then also emailing that list. All right. So that's a little recap there for you for the hot seat that I did with Matt. And really, it's all about, to me, it's all about building this little machine and then feeding in the front end, right? So we can feed it with Facebook ads. We can feed it with organic traffic, whether that's on social media, whether that's on our website or wherever, okay? We want to continually bring people to the front end, which is the landing page, and then let that kind of trigger the next step. It's kind of like the domino, right? You hit the first domino and then the rest of them start falling. Once you set this up, you basically just have to let people know where it is and then direct them to it. And that's it. A great example of this, by the way, is brandcreatorsbook.com. If you go to brandcreatorsbook.com, there's a paid lead magnet there. It's a great resource, by the way. And you can go there and you'll see a very basic landing page that will make you an offer for the lead magnet. And the lead magnet is a paid lead magnet in this case. And then from there, after that, well, I won't give it away. There's some things on the back end that are there going through exactly what I just shared with you here today. All right. So make sure that you consider building the email list, number 1, but then number 2, figure out, what does your potential customer want? What do they need? And give them a quick win, whether that's free or paid, and then continually follow up with them. Even if they don't ever buy, keep following up with them, sending them useful content, build the know, like, and trust. And I'm telling you right now, it hasn't failed me yet. All right. And get out there and start communicating with your market. And I'm telling you right now, it'll be a game changer for your brand. All right. So here's what we're going to do real quick, because we are doing this live. But if you're listening to this on the podcast, it's not. I'm going to go ahead and see if we have any questions, and then we'll go ahead and we'll answer some questions if we have any in the queue, which it looks like we do. Okay, cool. Here we go. A lot of you want to know, what is the name of the ad insertion plugin for my digital product? It's not just for a digital product. It's for any type of ad that you want to insert, and you would create the ad. And Ruth, I created this in Canva, and then from there I took the image and then I uploaded it into the WordPress blog. And then I use the add insertion plugin. I will go ahead and do a quick demo inside of the Academy, but because I know, Ruth, you're part of the Academy. But for anyone else that's not in there, basically just do a search for add insertion plugin inside of WordPress. And there'll be a couple there. I believe it was the first or second one there. I don't know the exact name. It's not that important. It just needs to be an add insertion plugin for WordPress. That's what I'm using. How do you add an offer bar on top of the menu bar? You can actually use a free tool called, well, it's free up to a certain amount of impressions. It's called Hello Bar. That'll allow you to do that. There's probably something that you could use as a plugin in WordPress. Not quite sure, but I would say Hello Bar, or if you're using ConvertKit, you can create a pop-up, a slide in. I like the slide in as well. It's not as abrupt. So just a quick little slide in, something like that. ConvertKit offers that for free as part of one of their plans. Okay, let's see here. Alejandro, in your niche sites you are testing in BCA, what are the rough numbers building your email from a checklist compared to a giveaway boost, chance for a shameless plug? Okay, so basically what you want to know is what are the rough numbers building your email list from a checklist compared to a giveaway? Giveaway is always going to be less expensive per lead, okay? But I have found that when you do a lead magnet, a digital download of some kind, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but the quality of the lead is usually higher. And what I mean by that is they're not there just putting their name in a hat to win something. Although I will say one of our niche sites that we're building in the Academy, recently we did a giveaway. I think we got about 1,200. No, it was less than that. I'm sorry. We only ran it for 2 weeks. I think it was like 600 people. And that list is super engaged. And we did sell some eBooks to those people already out of the gate, and some merch. So I know that list has been paid for, but that one there, totally different, but it's a different niche. Okay. But from my experience, I've always seen that the giveaway or the free, giveaway type model, your cost per lead will be, I mean, gosh, we've had them as little as 15 cents. But your quality or your engagement, I should say, is usually lower. So that's where you kind of got to weed it out. But if you just did the math, if you said, okay, even if the list is a quarter, okay, you build a list of, 1,000 people on a giveaway and 250 of them are engaged, but you only paid 15 cents each, you're still probably going to be a little bit less than if you did the lead magnet. It just depends. I wouldn't do it for a savings thing. I would do it more of like, okay, I want to go ahead and I'm going to test both of them. But if I want to just get that list kind of boom, I want to get some attention, I would probably start with a giveaway, unless you really have a lead magnet dialed in. Also, it's quicker for the giveaway. Let's see here. I heard Matt wants to be a teacher's pet. He's working his way there. He's an action taker. I'll tell you that right now. I guarantee after this call, he's probably already implemented what we talked about. Let's see here. Wow, this is so packed full of pearls. Going to rewatch and make sure I'm hanging some things. Okay. Good. Awesome. I'm glad it was. Okay. Is Brand Creator's book on ConvertKit landing page or your website? No, that one there is actually hosted on Kajabi, because we have everything in Kajabi as far as our landing pages and stuff go. Our niche sites, on the other hand, that stuff is on ConvertKit. Does ConvertKit allow upsells? No, at the moment they do not. So that's where on your thank you page, you would have to have your offer. And then from your offer, you would have to follow up with an email sequence. There are some other ways that you can do upsells. I did go through that inside the Digital Product Creation Fast Track Workshop. And it's using a tool called Gumroad, which will allow you to host your digital product, but then add a secondary product as like a choice, but it's not a true upsell. If you send people from Facebook ad to website, wouldn't they get distracted? No, because if you send people from Facebook to your website, your landing page should be very, very simple with no distractions. So I would get rid of any navigation bar, sidebar, any of that stuff, and it would just be the landing page, the lead magnet. That would be it. All right. So guys, hopefully this has helped you. This here, again, was one of our hot seats that we did inside of Brand Creators Academy. If you are inside the Academy and you have not watched it yet, it is inside of the hot seat section inside the members portal. And also, Matt is actively inside of our private BCA group. So make sure if you have any questions, you can always ask him. And if you're interested in joining us inside the Academy, head on over to brandcreatorsacademy.com. You can get all the details over there. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, and I'll see you soon.